All right, I seen a report that suggests that the Lions may need to pick up Ryan Tannehill as a backup quarterback. And basically, that's just, outside perception saying that they don't believe Hendon Hooker is a good backup quarterback. I mean, Ryan Tannehill was horrible. He was absolutely horrible in Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? So, um, I mean, at the end of the day, what's the point of drafting Hendon Hooker at this point? I think at this point you kind of gotta let it ride. Is Ryan Tannehill that much more superior as a quarterback? He more experienced, but the way he looked in Tennessee last year, I mean, Will Levis, he had a not even a half a season to get ready. Even though he had a training camp OTAs, when the team looked way better when Will Levis played. And people got to remember too, Ryan Tannehill is a converted wide receiver to quarterback. I think people forget that. So when we started talking about when we start talking about bringing guys in, um, at quarterback. I mean, if you're not satisfied with Hendon Hooker, and obviously people don't know what Hendon Hooker could be. Um, at this point, I just think you gotta just trust the talent. That's my opinion on it. I think at this point, you literally have to just trust the talent of Hendon Hooker. Make sure you got a solid third backup quarterback, and just go with it. And hopefully, Jared Goff stay healthy. But with Ryan Tannehill, man, it's just to the point where he just ain't look good in Tennessee, and maybe it was the offense, but I would understand with them wanting that security behind them. But you took it with Hendon Hooker in the third round. Unless you plan on trading them. But Ryan Tannehill not going away as potential insurance for Lions behind Jared Goff. If the Lions aren't ready to go with Hendon Hooker, if something happened to Jared Goff, Ryan Tannehill isn't going away as an option. That makes sense. And apparently nobody else picked up Ryan Tannehill yet, so they may see something. It says, yeah, really, Hooker just needs to take a step up. Campbell said, we need to feel like by the end of camp, this guy, he can run the offense. He can be somebody we know that, man, we can play. I hate the way he talked. play the games a certain way with him. We know he's going to be able to process the information. He's going to get us in the right place. He's going to keep the ship afloat. That's it. We don't need him to come in and win a game. You just want to feel like, all right, so obviously he's going to need to take another step up. Good news right now is he's getting a ton of reps. So I mean, at what point do you make that determination that you feel that, he may not make it? That's the $1,000,000 question. At one point do you say, well, right now it just ain't clicking for dog? At what point do you say that? Is it the middle of camp? I mean, because Ryan Tannehill is going to be in demand as soon as the quarterback go down. So do you say, fuck it, let's get him in there right now? But then what you're doing is you're taking reps away from Hendon Hooker. Then you're taking reps away from Hendon Hooker. So I don't know how late they make that decision as far as they feel like he got a grasp or not. Mentally, you kind of know where he at. But mentally and then physically and mentally process stuff is different. So I mean, really don't know. So Tannehill makes sense as insurance behind Jared Goff. Recently, it's been easy for. Let's just read what the guy had to say from the Bleach for Alex Ballantine. Elsewhere in the NFC North, the Lions would be handing the offense over to second-year player Hendon Hooker if Jared Goff were to get injured. Hooker spent most of his rookie season rehabbing a torn ACL, so it would make sense for the Lions to bring in a more experienced passer behind Goff. My thing is this: and what you drafting for? If he ain't gonna be the one or the two, what you drafting for so high? Because Tannehill ain't no world beater. We seen that he couldn't beat out Will Levis. and most people believe if Hooker was healthy, he would have been a first round pick and would have been drafted ahead of Will Levis. That's just the belief. It could be farther from the truth. It could be close to the truth. But probably going into the beginning of the camp, you should have your answer. If he's struggling and he don't look good, and then you got to remember, you got to overcome the fear of getting hit with the ACL. He got a tendency to hold the ball, looking to make the deep throw. You just heard what Dan Campbell said. We don't need him to win games. We just feel like he need to run the offense. This thing is coming from that Tennessee offense. Can you check the ball down? Can you make the easy plays up underneath? But like I said, Tannehill wasn't no world beater. He got experience. But he ain't really been shit. But I will say he gives you an aspect that Hendon Hooker gives you, and that's the legs. He will run. He ain't as athletic as Hendon Hooker, but he will run at this point in his career. So, that's something to think about. Seriously. So, but I mean, it's always an option. I think they had Carson Wentz behind Jared Goff last year. If my memory serves me correctly. So, but hey, we'll see, man. I look forward to seeing kind of what they do. But yeah, quarterback is important. But actually coming in, starting, and people preparing for you, and then also probably being in this Lions offense, probably be good for Hendon Hooker. I mean, for Tannehill. Probably be really good for Tannehill to get a change of scenery. Ben Johnson probably could do some things with Ryan Tannehill. Might look like a different quarterback. So it might be good for his career if he come in, look good for a couple games, might get another big contract. So who knows? But I'm not opposed to it. But if Hendon Hooker ain't ready, he ain't ready. So understandably so, coming off the ACL injury, but hey, and ain't play football in a couple years, live football. So thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance, get notifications. We go live or drop video. Financially, you want to support the channel, Cash App, $ CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link description, the link tree, find me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Peace.